Hello everyone and welcome to another historic video. So today we're going to be taking a look at a wizard deck with a little bit of a twist. We're splashing another color into the deck so that we can play Jarsyl Dark Age Scion. Now this is a deck that was inspired by Metabreaker 7 from the MTG Historic subreddit, but I did slightly tune the deck to my liking ever so slightly. The author's deck plays Autarka's Command, but I decided to play something a little bit different, and instead we're going to be playing a card called Perilous Iteration. This is a card that I've tested in a Jund midrange. I played the Perilous Iteration so that it acts kind of like Expressive Iteration. This is a new card from Alchemy. It's a 2-mana card sorcery. Seek card with mana value 2 or less and card with mana value 3 or greater. Discard those cards at the beginning of your next turn's end step. So what's cool about this card is that it says you seek a card with mana value 2 or less, meaning that you can even find a land which is of mana value 0. And on top of that, it will guarantee a card mana value 3 or greater, meaning that you will be guaranteed Wizard's Lightning or Jarsyl from the deck into your hand, which is great because I mean we are splashing a whole color to play out the Jarsyl, so it does make sense to have a card like Perilous Iteration to let you get to it. So let's read what Jarsyl does. This is also a card that I've tested in Jund Shell. Very good in that deck. It's a 3-mana 3/3 card with a starting intensity 1, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, so that's before attacking, you may cast a spell with mana value equal to Jarsyl's intensity from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. And if you do, you perpetually increase the Jarsyl's intensity by 1. Meaning, in a Jund Shell, we were able to Thoughtseize, and then you play Jarsyl, you get to Thoughtseize again. So that's the kind of deck that I was playing. But in a shell like this, where we're trying to burn our opponent down, you have things like Play with Fire, Reckless Charge, or you can even use Consider to draw into another burn spell. What's sick about this card is the fact that you can cast any spell, meaning you can cast sorcery spell, instant speed, and even a creature. And on top of that, when you do rebuy back your spell, they go back right into your graveyard and not the exile pile, unlike Dreadhorde Arcanist. When Dreadhorde Arcanist uses a spell, it goes to the exile pile so that Dreadhorde Arcanist can't use it back. But because Jarsyl has the increasing intensity, they do let you keep the spell in the graveyard, which is fantastic because if you pair it up with Dreadhorde Arcanist, you can play those spells again. And when starting intensity goes to 2, we have things like Mentor's Guidance to draw more cards. And as you can see, Jarsyl is considered a wizard, so if you do Mentor's Guidance, you get to draw 2 cards and scry twice. Or you can play the Static Discharge again to increase the intensity of the Static Discharge to deal more damage, or play another Perilous Iteration so that you can get a backup Jarsyl if opponent does kill it, or get a Wizard's Lightning. And once starting intensity goes to 3, you can either recast the Wizard's Lightning again, but if you want to reset the intensity and you have another Jarsyl in the graveyard, you can play another Jarsyl from the graveyard onto the battlefield if the intensity level is 1. And for a deck like this, we are playing 20 land deck, and we did get some excellent land from Explore Anthology. Mana Confluence lets you add 1 mana of any color to make deck a little bit more consistent. I did go down on some of the lands the original deck played and replace them with fast lands. I think for a deck like this, playing fast lands over shock lands is almost necessary just because we are a 3-color aggro deck. We don't want to shock ourselves too much. And in the future, the next set, we're going to be also getting a Gruul Fastlands, so we definitely want to replace the Stomping Grounds with the Fastlands, so make sure you do that once it comes out. And the last thing to talk about is actually the fact that there is no Expressive Iteration. Now, I do talk about this a lot in my Is It Wizard videos, is that Expressive Iteration compared to something like Mentor's Guidance, most of the times when you do play Expressive Iteration, you are looking for a land. It does feel really bad when you don't find a land, and most of the time that's what's going to happen because you are playing on 18 land deck and you Expressive Iteration. Good chance that the top 3 cards are not going to be a land. But compared to that, Mentor's Guidance does always let you draw a card and then keep it in your hand. So I did always favor Mentor's Guidance over the Expressive Iteration. But in this particular deck especially, I have completely replaced the Expressive Iteration in favor of Perilous Iteration. Big reason for this is you get to put it into your hand instead of putting it into the exile pile. And then at the very worst, Perilous Iteration puts it back into the graveyard so that the Dreadhorde Arcanist or Jarsyl can get it back later. So that's the reasoning for why there is no Expressive Iteration. Although Expressive Iteration is a fantastic card, I feel like it does feel a lot better when you play it in a shell that has more lands. But that's going to be it for the intro. I do really like the fact that every time I glance at the subreddit, there's still some people that are trying to innovate. Because I knew Jarsyl was a really good card, but I didn't know that it was a wizard. And it does make sense a lot for it to be in a deck like this, where you can play a bunch of cards from the graveyard onto the battlefield, including the creatures, since it is a low creature count deck, and Symmetry Sage usually ends up in the graveyard, and you can get it back with Jarsyl. That's just really cool. And as a final note, I do have the Juganta, the Wellspring as a companion, but I'm actually going to not go into the games with the Juganta because, you know, 20 land deck, sometimes 18 land deck with playing Juganta, it just gives opponent information. I'm never gonna be able to cast Juganta in most of my games, and for that reason, I don't really like Juganta too much because it's pretty obvious you're playing a wizard deck if you have Juganta as your companion. But anyways, that's going to be it for the intro. I'll be covering more historic and explorer decks for you guys to see in the future. So if you like the video so far, leave a like, comment below, subscribe. It helps a lot. And let's hop on over. Ooh. That is a beautiful, beautiful hand. So we now get to see the Jarsyl's potential. Hopefully. Frostbite. That's actually a cool tech, because that's a way to deal 3 damage. Okay, so let's see what we get. Nice. It's so cool that we get a land from this, and, you know, about 50% Jarsyl, since we do have Wizard's Lightning. So we can get our Soul Scar back, which is cool. Robber of the Rich. Oh my god. Okay, so they can technically kill our Jarsyl, but that's their entire turn, right? I think we can live with that. That's their entire turn if they do that. Jarsyl does a little shimmy, and we get to get back our Soul Scar Mage. Did they get a land? They have to kill this. But they don't know we have another copy of it. So they're gonna waste their entire turn doing this. There it is. Okay. And now let's kill both of those creatures. And get a lot of damage. Boom. Such a sick card. Frostbite. It's a little rude. Unfortunately, we're kind of flooding here. Yeah, I think we do have to Wizard's Lightning this. Ember Cleave. Okay, it's just a 1/1. Okay. Okay, that was such a sick draw. Static Discharge. think I'll have to take that. Another Soul Scar. It is a creature, though. Well, it can block the 1/1 the Den of the Bugbear generates. Okay. The question is, do we kill the Ferocidon? If we don't, we go to 6. It's kind of iffy, huh? Because they got Den of the Bugbear. Yeah, I do think we have to kill the Rampaging Ferocidon. I don't want to. And I'll have to attack. Because there's no chance I'm gonna double block the Den. Really close game. Really close game. The Frostbites are actually so sick in mono red. So they do activate the Den. We go to 3. Oh my god. There it is. Perilous Iteration. Gas. Absolute gas. Absolute gas. Nope. Symmetry Sage? Wait, hold up. 6. If I cast that, it's 10, 11, 12. But if I cast a Symmetry Sage into Reckless Charge, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? That's exact lethal? Right? Nine, 12, 13, 14. Just double checking here. 9, 12, 13, 14. 9, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Good game. That was a sick game. Oh, right. Looks like a decent hand. Forest, a lot of forest today. A lot of elves, which is great. Which is perfectly fine. Opponent passes. Opponent does pass. This could be Boseiju. It's probably Boseiju. Do I care about that card? Not so sure. Okay, it's incredibly rare for this deck to not have a 1 mana spell in the graveyard, but it is what it is. We do have a lot of removal spells. So, not too worried about that. Get rid of you. And then get rid of you. What's so sick about Jarsyl, it doesn't put the spell into the exile pile. Which is so broken for this deck because you also play Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yeah, so they do play Boseiju. I feel like that's a little bit of a missed opportunity, I would say. Because I don't have a basic land in the deck. Let's see here. Let's actually start with Static Discharging Face. So we have a double instant speed spell. This is probably Collect the Company. Are they just dead? Wait, they're just actually just dead. Hello? They're actually just dead. Wait, Jarsyl is kind of broken. Right? Because it does it at the beginning of the combat. So that when Dreadhorde Arcanist does attack, you get to do it again. Huh. Well, well, well. We do have Jarsyl, but I don't like missing 1-mana creatures on turn 1. So I think that was a mulligan. Such a sick card. Let's see. A green mana from our opponent. Is this card broken? I think it actually might be. Gala Greeter? It's not a playable historic card. Okay, so I want Jarsyl next turn. So I think I'm gonna Perilous Iteration here. Enter's Guidance is okay. But this does let you copy and then go ham with the Symmetry Sage later in the portion, so I think I'm gonna fire off Perilous Iteration. Okay. Got ourselves a Wizard's Lightning. And a land. Like this card's broken. It's so sick that we get a 3-mana spell, which is essentially a 1 cost for this deck. Okay. Gala Greeter. Okay. Let us kill the Elvish Orchard, but before that, probably... If I go Reckless Charge, Wizard's Lightning, that's 6, 9, 12 damage. So let's go with Mentor's Guidance first. Into a land. That's a burn spell. We'll keep that. And let's kill that. And attack base. And opponent plays a circle. A circle. Now, do I have lethal now? Let's see. If I Soul Scar... Actually, before I strangle... Let's actually buff the Soul Scar. And then if I attack... If they don't block, I think they lose, but I think they're gonna block. They should. But if they do that... Well... This happens. It's just a lose-lose situation for them. Just a bad matchup for them. Alrighty. Feel like I'm in 97% forever. Should I keep this? Probably not. That is much, much better. So I'm pretty sure I'm playing against a wizard deck. Usually a wizard deck would play a Giganta. So, I mean, we don't have the best hand. And I also didn't want to play Soul Scar Mage because they could have played with fire. I was gonna say, we don't have a good hand versus a wizard deck, and I just draw a Wizard's Lightning. So good. There you go. Actually played around, play with fire. Okay, let's see what we get. No way, right? No way. Spell Pierce? I can't believe it. Who would ever dare play Spell Pierce in a Izzet deck? Not me. That actually sucks. And we're flooding. Oh man. That's so bad. That could be like the game-winning Spell Pierce, especially now that we're flooding. $20 land deck, by the way. Help. Help, help. Like Jarsyl or Perilous Iteration would be so sick. Okay, this is what I get for trash talking expressive iteration. I draw Mentor's Guidance. I draw Mentor's Guidance. Oh, man. I talk trash about Giganta and Expressive Iteration, and I'm gonna lose to it. Typical karma. Okay, this only backfires if they have like double spell. Okay. Well, I think that is it. Spell Pierce actually winning the game. Man, Jarsyl would have been so sick. Oh, yeah. There's just no way. Wah, wah, wah. Man. Much better. I really don't want to mulligan, but it keeps giving me hands where I have to mulligan. Feels bad. Alright. What do you got for me, Swag Lord? Red. Mana Confluence? Nope. Maybe I should have taken it. Minion of the Mighty. Actually, I can't actually consider, right? Because I only have one red source. And if I play Consider, I miss the opportunity to actually kill this now. Yeah, maybe I should have taken the Mana Confluence because of this. There's that green source for scale up. Fight rigging. Really? Okay, well, time to consider, I guess. Actually, no. We'll play it on our turn so that we can buff our creatures to get in there for a little bit more damage. We don't need that. We are running out of instant speed spells, so we gotta close it out fast. Actually an insane hand from opponent. Just multiple minion of mighties. So again, they're a combo deck, so we only want to use our Wizard's Lightning on the minion of mighty only when they use a buff spell. At an instant speed, of course. Now we get to just strangle. And kill that. And that should be game over unless they, I don't know, have another one. And I don't even think that would still help. Yeah. I think we played that pretty well. Okay, as much as I love Jarsyl, but this is not a keepable hand. Ooh. And no red? I don't know. Opponent's also mulliganing 2 at the same time, so that's kind of funny. Two really bad Magic players going at it against each other. I think I will Perilous Iteration first. Because I don't know what this could be. Cruel Celebrant. Wait, what? I played the wrong stomping ground? No way. No way. Okay, that's enough lands. I think I will kill the Celebrant here. All right. Well, Jarsyl was very fun to play with. I'm glad I got to try it out in this Temur show. Great deck.